hold on, how is me and Belichick going to mesh? Because it's like perception. And it's fascinating to me that he would bring that up publicly. We've talked a lot about it. And so I want to start with Lewis on this one, because Lewis, Riddick, you played for Bill Belichick in Cleveland. So you know what it's like there. How do you expect Bill and Cam to mesh?
You know what, man, when I just saw that right there, you know, I think about the new Michael Jordan meme where he's kind of like looking down on his iPad. I could just picture Bill reading that quote right there and just kind of looking at it like, how are we going to mesh? What do you mean, how are we going to mesh? I'm Bill Belichick. This is my team. This is my squad. You know what? Have you ever heard this mantra? Just do your job. That's how we'll mesh. We'll mesh by you just doing your job. We'll mesh by you coming in here, putting in the extra work, learning this offense. You're getting together with Josh McDaniels and myself, and let's figure out how we can get you up to speed and highlight your strengths, minimize your weaknesses, and that's how we'll mesh. We'll mesh if you're winning football games and you're helping us continue to build on our legacy. We won't mesh if you don't do your job and you make it about you and you make it about this personal revenge, you know, Cam revenge tour, and all of a sudden it's about me, instead of about we, because that's how we do things up here in New England. New England is one of those places where, look, they kind of deprogram you and they reprogram you then into their culture, which has obviously worked. 9 Super Bowl appearances, 6 Super Bowl championships. I mean, you can't argue with it. So that's how they'll mesh, as long as he does that. Having played for Bill, I can tell you this. It is not, and I repeat, it is not for everyone. He puts pressure on you in a way to which you have never seen before. A lot of coaches talk about holding you accountable. Bill holds you accountable. Bill makes you question whether or not this profession is really for you. And you will find out exactly how good you can possibly be with him. There won't be any excuses after that. So don't ask how you and him are going to mesh. Just ask how you can do your job so you can stay on that roster. And that's really what it is. He doesn't care about your resume. He doesn't care about your past accolades. Bill's one of those guys that he may not remember what you did just a minute ago, let alone what you did 3-4 years ago. He really could care less. He could not care less. Put it that way.
A fascinating way to begin this conversation. Nick, what do you think?
Well, first of all, I was shocked by watching that linebacker play safety out there coming downhill like a maniac. That was outrageous.
You saw the face mask.
Up until this point, I've probably been downplaying whatever friction there may be between Cam and Bill, because I didn't think that there necessarily would be any. But I think that it sounds like the more I listen to people who played for Bill Belichick, it sounds like it's tough for everybody. Everyone who comes in there has to learn something new. And the ego that Bill Belichick, I'm sure, has and has earned, and I'm sure everyone around there believes that they know the right way to do things, and their track record would suggest as much. I think it is going to be somewhat challenging for any new player to come in, and Cam Newton is that new player, and it's only going to get made worse by us, because we're going to pay so much attention. We're going to dissect everything that's said, including Cam saying or asking the question, how are we going to mesh? That suggests that Cam thinks that he is on the same level as Bill Belichick, and I don't think Bill Belichick thinks that, and I don't think very many people think that. So it is going to be somewhat of a challenge to get it worked out, but I think at the end of the day, what's good for Cam Newton is also good for the Patriots. So I think they will bond over that. They all want to succeed, and I think that's important, and that's going to bring them together. I do think that there will be some bumps in the road, whereas a week or so ago, I thought it would be no problem. It'd be just a seamless fit, but it seems like no one is a seamless fit up there. You come in, and you have to change who you are to fit in. And Cam's going to certainly be no different than anybody else in that regard.
Yeah, who talked about that recently with us here was Randy Moss. Came on the show and said, when I got there, Bill he treats me, he treats Tom Brady, he treats every player exactly the same, and that's the way it works. And so, Tim, how do you expect that to work with Belichick and Cam Newton?
Well, first, let me say there is nothing better than shots of Lou looking like a pad monster. So I second that, Nick. That was really good. Look, I think this. It's not like every player that's been in New England has been an absolute robot, right? So whether it's been Randy Moss or whether it's been Gronkowski or whether it's been Junior Seau, like the truth is, like he does allow players to have their own personality. But as a player, you do have to, as Lewis said, do your job. And so I think as long as Cam is doing what they're asking him to do, then I don't think people are going to be worked up about what he's wearing or if he wants to shoot an arrival shot when he shows up at the stadium. That won't be an issue if he's doing what he needs to do on the field. In terms of it meshing, no, they're not on the same level. And if he's not doing his job, then he just won't be there. Look at the deal that he signed. It's not a deal that is going to force New England to keep him if he's not doing his job. So there will be no meshing if he's not doing his job on the football field.
Final word, Adam Schefter.
Thank you, Greeny. Each has its own point to prove this year. Cam Newton was let go by the Carolina Panthers, is on a one-year contract, wants to show everybody he can still play and how important it is to him. And Bill Belichick is without Tom Brady. Everybody's waiting to see how that goes. So Bill Belichick and Cam Newton have a shared interest here. And keep in mind, as we mentioned before, together, Cam Newton, Jarrett Stidham, Brian Hoyer, counting for $2.775 million in base salary this season. Dak Prescott at $31.4 million.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.